What is up, everyone? Welcome to, I guess this week we're going to call it PsyBrawn's podcast. I am your host, PsyBrawn. I am joined by one of the smartest and hardest working guys I know, Cyberpunk. How's it going, man?
Thank you. Good, brother. Very, very good. Whoa, out of focus. There we go.
Okay.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes, happy Friday indeed. It's been a holiday week, sort of, here in the United States. So we'll start the show with that. How was your 4th of July?
Pretty chill, actually. I was kind of hoping those houses behind me burned down from some of the fireworks, but they didn't.
What?
I want to keep my backyard clean. I don't want houses back there. I guess it is helping the property value, so I can't complain. No, it's pretty chill. I mean, I actually had a bunch of leftover fireworks from last year. God, they cost me a fortune. These
They
fucking
still work?
fireworks.
They're still fired
They
up?
still work. Yeah, they still fire it off. I mean, we had the little, little fountain sprays, couple of smoke bombs,
Okay.
and then I don't even know why I pulled the trigger on this thing. Like literally, Nami, she like handed me this like cannon thing, right? She's like, "Dad, just twist it." I'm
Roman
like,
candle?
"Well, yeah." I thought this thing was gonna be like a sparkler, okay? So then I twist it. You know what happened? Fucking like 200 pieces of confetti just flew out into the air.
Oh, confetti.
Yeah, I mean it was fucking everywhere, all over the street because we did it in the street. And here, man, jokes on me, bro. I had to go fucking get the, I had to go get the fucking sweeper, bro. I had to clean that shit up.
Clean it up.
Damn. It was fun though. I mean, again, it was chill. I actually didn't even end up watching. Like, I think the fireworks was over at Caesar's Palace. I think
Hmm.
it was supposed to happen like around 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger thing that I missed out on that I didn't know was that fucking sphere, bro.
The spear,
that
man.
that
The
sphere.
traveler is here.
Fuck. I mean, every single video I've seen like in the past week has been of like the eyeball, like and doing this and shit. Like a huge ass eyeball that they're
the snow
projecting on the
globe,
exterior of it. Yeah. I've seen the
just the
Earth.
marble
I've
look.
seen the moon. Pretty freaky. Cool though.
I want to see him do the traveler.
Dude. That would be
with
sick.
the triangle in it.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Like that would be
That
legit.
would be something. That would be something.
That is something for, some marketing, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And PGA does their thing, they're gonna make it a golf ball, right? And they're gonna do that.
Yep.
And then when the NBA drafted, they're gonna make it a basketball. Makes
Oh,
sense.
there's a ton of things you can go do with that, man.
Yeah.
Ton of stuff.
Yep. Yeah, we didn't do anything. We did nothing.
I know.
I was still trying to recover from the weekend. The weekend that I hardly, that I cannot remember much from that night.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't even realize I went to go sleep on the couch. Like I don't even remember doing that. And I semi remember people actually waking me up from the couch. At which point, my brain just like forgot that whole segment and like tried to put the last part of me going to sleep and the part of me waking up and put those together as if I never even went to sleep. Like that's how my brain was like registering it. Because then I went outside and I was talking and still just rambling on, saying my thing, and I was thinking to myself like, oh, guess I'm gonna ask Elon to take me home again. Put that bitch in autopilot, took us home.
Nice.
Thankfully.
Nice. Does it go up the driveway just clean?
Oh God, no. No. You gotta get Model S for that shit, bro. Model Y can't do that shit. No. Model Y, yeah, I gotta ease that bitch in real fucking slow. Real slow.
Sweet. Okay. I'm gonna have to add that right there. Just we'll get to that. Forgot all about the EVs. That might be another topic for another day.
EV's huge.
Bungie Day today, right? 7/7. Anything good? You buy anything? Anything worth a damn?
I mean, I think last year I was really close to getting that Gallahorn.
The
The thing
Nerf.
that stopped, yeah, the thing that stopped me was the fact that they had all that orange on it. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind orange. It's just the way that it looks like on the Gallahorn. I mean, I wish it was just that classic Gallahorn white with gold trim and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and then they just put orange on the front, just
On
like
the
they
little
did the
tip.
black one, right?
Yeah.
Black one's right here, sitting right next to me, right? Like, look at this thing, all
Yep.
black all the way through, nothing too crazy. Then you got the orange right here on the tip. Great, that's fine.
Yep.
That's where you put
And
it.
it doesn't even shoot anything.
Yeah, and this doesn't shoot. The other one shoots though, right? So the other one shoots.
Yes.
That's why I'm kind of like, I kind of want one that shoots, but then it just looks the way that it does. So that was up there for sale today, but just not enough for me to pull the trigger on.
How
I'd
far
say.
does it shoot?
I honestly don't know.
I'd like to
I
see
don't
a
think it
video
shoots
on
that
that.
far. It's
One
like a
of these
ball.
days I'll check a.
Pretty sure it's a ball. It's not a dart,
Yeah.
right?
But you know those Nerf weapons, they freaking.
Yeah.
Like
I
they
mean,
got
the
the
other thing
tech
I showed you was
good
that
enough on it.
the physical items from the collector's edition, right? So
Yeah.
that's just the toys, no games, which is probably why they're left over. Is that people always bought the ones with the games attached to it because they wanted the game.
Yeah.
Uh,
But the other ones sold out, didn't they? Before, like the Beyond Light pack,
pretty sure they did.
because they did
I'm
a
pretty
solo one
sure
for
they did.
that. Because Sony stopped doing the digital
Yeah.
keys or whatever,
Yeah.
and then they just started selling those
Yep.
separately, those collector's editions.
Right. Well, I think the thing was too is like maybe people were in between, right? They weren't sure what they were going to be playing by the time that game came out. Maybe they were entertaining some new systems, some new setups. Maybe they wanted to start playing on PC, and they hadn't gotten to that point. So these people are like, "Fuck! I want that. I want the collector stuff, but I don't want to make my mind up yet on what system."
Yeah.
Because hell, when it came out that one time too, you were showing me that one site had Lightfall was damn near already on sale like the week thereafter, right? On the PC, that PC site for games. Remember you were showing me?
Yes. Yep.
So it's like, dude, if I was the guy that was like, don't know where I'm gonna play it just yet. Holy crap! I just got the best deal of my life over here a week later. Thank God I only bought the toys edition, collector's part, right? Anyways, that was on sale for like 33% off, which was a pretty good deal. I did like that hoodie too, that purple hoodie, which is
Yes.
basically the same
Based
hoodie
off
that the
the
hunter has in
skin.
the game. Yeah, I mean that's cool.
Yeah.
Problem is, it's like
Based off
113 degrees right now. I mean,
well, it's not gonna ship until freaking like a year
of
later.
course it's not going to ship.
So.
It's probably not even going to ship till next summer for all I fucking know. Jesus Christ, that's the thing about that site. As soon as they started doing those long lead times, and here's the thing, right? All of that kicked in shortly after COVID, which obviously makes sense for everybody, right? But you know what? You can't be riding that gravy train anymore. That shit's done with. Everybody's making shit again. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's no way it takes this long. My thing is, I just think they don't have enough orders, right? The hype of the game has been dying down. Not a lot of people are actually engaging with the game. They're not buying the merch. And therefore, they're not willing to cough up the quantities up front, right?
Yeah.
They're like, well, let's go see how many we can actually sell of these, and then we'll go do a made to order, right? We're not going to go get the whole 2,000 unit batch, right now, when only fucking 500 people buy that shit. Now what?
Then the rest of them they have to sell freaking discounted,
Yeah.
or lose profit, or not even
Yep.
lose, but it becomes like expense.
I'll find that shit at Ross one day or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there really wasn't much. And there was actually still a lot of like new things that were just like still pre-order. So it's like, it's hard. Really, I'm waiting for that August reveal, or that August event, right? So
The August Destiny event. for
Yeah.
the next
Then we'll
expansion.
know about we'll know about Final Shape. If we're lucky, we'll find out about what the next chapter of Destiny might be. Who knows? Maybe they just like spill the beans and be like, "Oh, here's the next 3 expansions, by the way." I mean, to be
So
quite honest, they're gonna have to do something like that. I think they're gonna have to.
yeah. So speaking of the future of what Destiny has to hold, what about the future that we have now, which leads us to the topic of this podcast? AR and VR. Are we there now? Are we about to be where all those movies in the past predicted us to be? Back to the Future. I was reading an article earlier, and that sucker, I was like, dang, Back to the Future 2 predicted like 8 different technologies back when did that movie come out? Is that like
The 8.
89, 88
Mhm.
time frame?
What
Like,
were the 8 things? Do you remember?
so let's say the TV glasses. TV glasses. There's a part in there where McFly's kid is walking around the house. He's got the glasses on and he's watching TV on him, right? And then
Okay.
there's the video calling, right? That when McFly's future self gets fired, it's like you're fired, right?
Oh, right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
video calls. Remember when they were trying to sell that on like landlines? It was like a little video phone. Now
Yeah.
it's normal practice to have webcams, to have
Right.
video calls on the phone, FaceTime, whatever you want to
Mhm.
call it.
Mhm.
Um, fingerprint. Now I'm sure they do. I just haven't seen it yet. Fingerprint to get into your house, right? Fingerprint scan,
Oh,
unlock it,
guaranteed.
right?
Biometrics. Oh, guaranteed.
Biometrics.
Guaranteed.
So unlock your
Guaranteed.
phone,
Guaranteed.
fingerprint, right? So what's
Yeah.
that? 4 now. Um, wireless paying or digital payments. So that was another thing that was in there.
Mm.
The
Mhm.
digital payments, the his shoes able to lace up by themselves. They got them now. They're here.
I've always wanted
Those
those
suckers are
fucking
here.
those Nike mags. They call
Yep.
them the mags.
And
Ugh.
then obviously the hoverboard, right? So I mean, it's not
Oh
quite the
yeah.
same yet, or that mass produced.
Right.
And then what? Just a couple of weeks ago or last week or whatever, the electric flying car thing,
Oh right. Was cleared by the
FAA cleared it,
FAA. Right. Yeah.
right? So we got
That's
that.
right.
Was that 7? It might be 8 now. Um, the remember the Ronald Reagan TV come out and like take your order,
Oh right.
right? So now you can order from the little thing on the table. You're
Yeah,
in
the
your
kiosk.
Applebee's, you order in
Right.
there, whatever, and then sometimes a robot can come out and give you your food. Freaking Grubhub's got a
Yeah.
damn robot now to go and
Yeah.
get you your food down the street. It's
It's
so
always
yeah,
it's always really interesting to me because it, you know, it's kind of one of those chicken or the egg kind of things, right? It's like, did those ideas inspire this new reality that we
yeah,
have because they saw it? Because if they didn't see that, they wouldn't have ever came up with the idea
with the idea
because they
for
didn't
it.
have a frame of reference. You know what I mean? It's really interesting
Yeah,
how sci-fi becomes real life sometimes.
yeah. It's because becomes the the chase, right?
Hmm.
Just come up with something you might. I mean, I haven't seen freaking Spider-Man freaking web shooters yet, but somebody's trying somewhere. I'm sure,
Guaranteed.
right?
Guaranteed. Yeah.
Um, and then the Iron Man suits. You know, we've got
What the fuck would
exoskeleton
you
type
do with a web
technology.
shooter, anyways?
Who knows? I don't know. I don't freaking know. The only way that worked is because he was so strong to hold on to it and then like get the momentum,
Right.
speed, whatever. But
Sure.
but so
Yeah.
yeah, so to start the topic off, like Back
Mm.
to the Future, all this media
Hmm.
that we used to watch, right? Demolition
Hmm.
Man, he put on the
Hmm.
freaking thing, but that was like the neural stuff was supposed to hunka chunka stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting for that one. I
So
want to
that one
sample
was a
that.
that
Some
one
Sandra
a
Bullock, bro.
step,
I want to sample some Sandra Bullock, bro.
and that's the thing, right? So that part I don't think we're there yet. The sensory stuff, like
Yeah,
we
sure.
have the visual and the audio that is part of VR now or AR
Hmm.
tech, but you know I mean, I guess there's touch stuff now. They've got toys that do all that stuff. You can control it from
Yeah,
remotely, and then for people in a relationship, they could do all that stuff.
right.
Um, you know, remotely,
No,
distance,
no,
long
I know
distance.
Neuralink is trying to do stuff with brain uh,
That's the next thing right
type
there.
stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you could think about what it is that you want, and then it would like type up on the computer because it's hooked up to your brain.
Wow. That's crazy
Yeah,
because
it's
of
scary
the
shit.
signals or whatever, some freaking
Yeah.
avatar stuff.
Uh-huh. Avatar
Yeah.
type shit, bro.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's my fear of the neural portion of it. Okay, it's one thing that's taste, smell, right? But the
Yep.
neural part, once it starts, if it's just receiving signals, that's fine. But if it's like providing feedback to your brain, that's where that freaking Sword Art Online shit starts coming into play, and then I get a little scared because what if it like shocks you and you just, you know,
Well, yeah, I mean, it won't take long for somebody to fucking hack into
weaponize
your
it,
brain.
hack it, yeah, make
Yeah.
it,
Oh,
a
give me,
negative thing.
send your bank account
Mm,
information to this email address.
yeah, yeah. But
Or,
then there's the good part of
yeah.
it too, like Alzheimer's people. They I'm not fully read up on any of that, but if it's about neural firing stuff, it might help. But yeah, that's the neuron stuff, and then we got like Minority Report and Iron Man,
Mm,
right?
mm-hmm,
The whole
mm-hmm.
Tony Stark freaking I'm gonna control this over here,
Yeah.
you
I mean,
know.
that's literally what you're going to talk about today.
Yeah,
Is that it's Minority Report.
yep.
It's literally that.
What's your history or your experience with AR, VR, 3D tech, 4D, all that
You know,
stuff?
you know, I think I think one of the honestly, I've never been a very big fan of virtual reality just because um the at least the environments that I have seen or games or whatever it was, whatever the entertainment or whatever the consumable thing was, just wasn't up to par with my expectations for what I wanted that I could just regularly get in a 2D space or just regular screen space, right? And so
Yep.
I never really fully bought into it yet. The other sort of exposure I had was the Google Glass. So when they wanted to do their little like scouter thing or whatever and get all your information in the frames, I was really interested in that and I signed up for that. I ended up not going through with it, and then I think shortly thereafter it just kind of fell off as well. So I mean that's really been the extent of it. I mean you saw me how my reaction was there at that PlayStation experience when I tried to do the VR, but that was because I had like 15 shots of Jägermeister too. So
You got sick from that motion sickness, right?
that did not, yeah,
Yep.
that did not end well. I mean, I got in that thing and it felt okay. Like I was in some kind of like airlock or something. It was like supposed to
Yeah.
be like some kind of space exploration game, right? And yeah, I got a bit of motion sickness, and it was just like, you know, things are just moving in all different directions because it's almost like my brain knew that the outside was a certain way, and then what I was seeing inside didn't line up with all of that, and it was
Yeah.
just like, this is not for you, you know. So I had to take a step back. Um, Pokemon Go, shit
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
AR, right?
Yep. Definitely.
And to me, I've always thought that AR was probably the best use case for that type of technology, which is putting digital into a real world environment, like seeing topography on a table and seeing that digitally, like you would see in some movies and shit like that, right? Like to me,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that was a way better, use of that kind of technology, as opposed to me placing myself in the digital world and trying to like walk around in the environment, which I guess when I think about it, I guess there's other benefits to replicating environments for other means, I guess. Um, just not for consuming entertainment, at least for me. Yeah, that's probably the extent of it, to be quite honest, right off the top of my head.
Yep. Yeah. For me, I still remember back in had to be like 91 or 92. The Virtual Boy was the first
Oh yeah,
experience I
Virtual Boy,
had. Well,
the red and the
you
black.
know, they had the before that, I guess they had the blue and the red 3D glasses, right?
Oh right, yeah.
That you could wear, and then they used that
It's
kind of
called
technology at freaking
stereo. It's called
Disneyland.
stereoscope. It's like
Yeah,
stereoscope.
I think they had like a Michael Jackson ride at
Mm,
Disney, or um, it might have been called Star Tours or something. They were using that stuff with the type of 4D motion rides before.
right.
But yeah, the Virtual Boy still this huge thing right on your face. It's all black and red, which was kind of it's you're sealed off
I
from
remember that
everything.
Mario. I remember that Mario tennis on
Mario
there.
Tennis,
I
right?
I know that shit.
Um, that I have a 3D TV still. I still have a 3D Blu-ray player, and I have like 4 sets of 3D glasses, but I can't find 3D movies anymore. And the screen's not big enough for it, and
Yeah,
the house is not dark enough to make it look cool.
I
So
see.
that's my problem with that. Um, and for me, I have the benefit or the advantage of not having to wear glasses. But if I had to wear glasses and then something on top of it, it's gonna suck, or
Yeah,
it'll
that's the
just
thing
not
that always
happen.
bugged me about the movie theater ones, is the fact that I had to dual double up
Double
on
it
my
up.
shit. Yeah,
No.
it's annoying.
Then after that, I had the Gear, the Samsung Gear thing. You pop your phone in there, and then it has the
Oh
lenses
yeah,
in
right,
there,
right.
and then it
Yeah,
uses the phone's technology to become the Oculus or whatever. Back when it was
Google
still
came out with
Oculus.
their version, was a fucking cardboard box. You put that shit in.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think
Damn.
so Nintendo did that too. I never did it, but Nintendo's got like a VR mode in Zelda Breath of the Wild, and also Mario Odyssey, I think. And they didn't like take it any further than that. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't think there's lenses for that. It's just on your face,
Yeah,
right?
put that shit as close as you can. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's just like the other VR stuff, like PSVR. I have PSVR. It's just fucking collecting dust right now, sitting
Yeah.
there. And I want a PSVR 2, but I don't know if the technology is there. I want to test drive it, but we're not gonna know no PlayStation experience, nothing. For me
Yeah.
to test drive that tech,
This has
right?
been the problem. This has been the problem, is that there have been many attempts and they just can't, it just doesn't take off. It's either
Right.
they don't have enough support for the content, or there's not enough people consuming the content, or the technology. The idea has been there all along. It's just we just have not arrived at a point where all of those things are working together
Yeah. And so,
nicely.
now I mentioned these things, right? They're all games, or you're watching a movie. So that
Yeah,
you buy this piece of tech, and the only function is to play a 3D movie. You buy this
yeah.
piece of tech, the function is to play a VR game, right?
It's entertainment. Yeah,
It's all
primarily
just
entertainment.
entertainment.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah.
so form factor, we dealing with the glasses and this freaking big ass thing that's sitting in your head, right? It's
That's
huge.
why
It
I
gets
like the idea of
uncomfortable,
Google Glass. It was supposed to be damn near like 1-to-1, except you had this extra thing, right?
right?
I was all like, shit, hey, I can get with that. I can wear that around. I won't look stupid, you know. But too good to be true, I guess.
Yeah, and that's what for me, that's where I want it to be, is
Hmm.
like if you give me a pair of Oakleys and you tell me that I could use them for VR tech, I'm like,
Yeah,
that's the end goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something that
Mm-hmm.
blocks out the stuff, but it's still transparent enough to see what's around you.
Right.
But it's not heavy. It's not, you can take it everywhere.
Right.
That's For me, that's the thing, and it is wireless. You don't have to plug it into anything. Freaking PSVR
Right.
2, you still got to plug it into the freaking PlayStation.
Yeah.
So,
So you're
um,
tethered to
tethered.
your space.
I mean,
Yep.
the Quest 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quest 2, you can do wireless or plug it into your PC, so that's getting there. I've never tried the Quest 2. Have you tried the Quest 2 yet?
No, I almost
No.
bought one actually. I
Yeah.
almost bought one. I think they were gonna like discontinue a previous model, so it went like super clearance before they
Hmm.
came out with the new one. I was so close, and I was just like, I don't know. I got that feeling again. I was gonna buy it. It was just gonna sit on the shelf.
Hmm.
That's why I didn't buy it. I mean, it was for the kids, but then I was like, you guys don't need this. You don't need this.
Yeah, I only know one person that has a Quest, and that is, my sister's son, my nephew.
Oh,
That
okay, yeah,
So
yep,
he's the only one that I know that has one, and that's when
yep,
Black Friday deal or whatever it's gonna.
gotcha.
But
Yeah.
I don't hear of him playing it a lot, or he doesn't. Whenever
Right.
I see him, he doesn't like tell me, "Oh, you got to go and try this
No,
out."
you got to get on this.
It's,
Yeah,
it's so sick.
yeah,
Kids want to show you that stuff. If it's cool, and I don't hear about it. You know,
yeah.
and another thing with these freaking things is it starts to get heavy on your head, your neck,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's another thing that might become an
Mm-hmm.
issue, right? So right now, people in their phones are looking down. People's postures are getting bad. What if you have
Mm-hmm.
something on your head? Is it going to get better because you can sit upright and you don't have to look down anymore, or is it going to get
Mm.
worse because it's heavy?
Yeah, I can only
That
imagine.
that's just a test of time right there.
Yeah,
And
I
then
know most of
beyond
these
that,
things are made out of plastic, but still, I mean, just anything on your head. Even this headset on my head, if I kept it on for 10 fucking hours, it's gonna hurt,
yeah, it's going to hurt
no
on
matter
your
what.
ears. It's going to hurt on your on the top of your head,
Yep.
and yeah. Um, and that's where I like the inductive. I think it's called bone induction. The bone induction headphones or earphones. You ever see those? They go
I
on your
remember.
temple, right?
I think I remember you talking about it.
Dude, it's um had a coworker that had them. When he is listening to them, I can't hear any of it, but he can hear me talking to him the entire time. It's like sending very small vibrations that actually trigger into your eardrums, and it produces the sound
That's
that you're
interesting.
supposed to be hearing. But obviously your eardrums are not blocked, so you can hear everything outside still. It's
Who the fuck
amazing
figured shit
technology
out?
that I am surprised that more companies are not trying to use that for, like, you know um wireless headsets for call
Right.
centers, or voice chat,
Mm.
tech. um
Side effects include.
right. Side effects include concussions from the
Who
vibrations.
fucking knows?
Yeah.
You gotta fucking sign a waiver before you fucking use those things for all I know.
Yeah. Yeah, they were lightweight. I tried them on. They were super lightweight. I was like, man, this is insane. Like, it's just wireless, right? Um,
That's crazy. Fucking with your bones, man. God damn.
yeah. And to go along with progressing technology, controllers, right? I got
Mm.
I got these stupid move wands. Where is it? I have it somewhere around here. I've got these move wands. It started with the little ball on it that light up, right? You get the Wii remotes, right? You used to have the Wii remote nunchuck thing, and that you could play, your Wii Sports bowling and tennis or whatever. And the technology is getting better. I haven't tried the PSVR 2 one yet, but it's got feedback. I know the Hive. Vive,
Oh yeah, the HTC,
HTC.
HTC Vive.
Don't they
Yeah,
have like
yeah.
a controller which like all your fingertips have force feedback on them, so that
Mm.
if you're holding something, you can't close it any further than what it is in the game, or
Mm.
right.
Mm.
So,
Gotcha.
which makes
So
sense. Or if you touch
you'd be like,
something,
is that a D cup or is that a cup?
man, that's I mean, honestly, that's where all the technology goes, right? Laser disc, oh no, VHS. You know, once it goes full spectrum with porn, then all doors are open, right?
Oh
And
yeah. Again, your product is only as good as, right? Your
yeah,
product's only going to be as good as the ecosystem that you
makes it
create for
marketable,
it. Right. Yeah. I
right?
mean, can I watch movies on it? Can I listen to music on it? Can I do this? Can
Hmm.
I do that? I mean, if it only does this one thing, unfortunately, now you've just kind of, you're sort of stuck in that, that particular lane of interest, right? That's it.
Could you imagine if you had Google Glass and you're right there, and then you're like talking to somebody just walking down the street, and you got Pornhub up.
Yeah, I tell you what, that
You're like in the
motherfucker
middle of
bet
the restaurant, and it's just
that better, yeah, something to keep in mind. I'm gonna have to write that down.
so
That's
that's
an
where
interesting.
my that's my main problem is why is it always just essentially a screen that gets closer to your face, right? That's
Yeah.
all it is. All of these technologies I mentioned it, Virtual Boy, 3D glasses, PSVR, Quest, HoloLens, like all of this tech
Hmm.
for AR, VR is just I'm gonna give you a 4K TV and I'm gonna put it right in your face. I'm more interested in like projection. Like I want my phone to be my watch, and then it actually projects a screen onto my skin or my the back of my hand, and that's
Oh,
where
I thought you were gonna say fucking. You wanted to see fucking Princess Leia come out the fucking thing right here,
or
right?
that it could be
Right?
that too. Like we
Yeah.
can, you know, Obi-Wan,
Obi-Wan.
right? And that's all it needs to be. Like just
Yeah.
why is it we'll bring a screen to your face instead of right here you're gonna see something, or freaking Cortana comes out from Halo, right? She just comes out right there. I don't get it.
Hey,
Like
uh,
Siri, right? Like when's Siri gonna come out of your watch? Like now
yeah.
there's an avatar for Siri, you know,
It's likely that technology is not available yet. Probably.
or is it gonna
Or
require
or,
you
or
to wear glasses to like in tandem? Like you need the
yeah,
watch
that
and the glasses, and then they can
yeah,
see.
there's your AR. There's your AR experience right there.
Yeah,
Like I said, that to me, I feel like AR is where it's at, not
yeah,
necessarily.
yeah. And so now this Apple Vision Pro,
Hmm.
the main event here. Apple Vision Pro is, to me, I am a Apple avoider.
Hmm.
So you probably know more background on this than I do. For me, it looks like another attempt to be a PSVR, but not just for video games and not just for movies, but you can do both. And it seems like you can do some productivity stuff with it too.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I think the way that Apple is trying to sell this is, they're basically trying to sell the next generation of computing, is what they're saying with this product. You know how Apple does it though. They're really good at their marketing. That's part of the reason why they're so successful.
mhm.
But in the early years of Apple, right? You had Microsoft computers, you had Apple computers, and it's all about like What is it about our product that makes it special? What is it about this, right? They sell that kind of product. And throughout the years, at least one of the things that I've noticed about Apple is they don't necessarily have to be the first, but they at least try to make products that would be appealing to the masses, and or try to introduce new kinds of technologies that might not have been mainstream and make them mainstream. Especially now, they're like a $3 trillion company or whatever the hell it is now. They do whatever the fuck they want. The thing is, at least in the last decade, Apple hasn't necessarily really done anything earth-shattering, groundbreaking. Now I will say that they're probably a big proponent of helping to bring cell phones even more mainstream than they probably already were going to become. So with the introduction of the iPhone and the touch and the app store and all of those things, right?
Yeah.
All those things that they sort of brought forth, or at least, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since they actually brought something new to the table.
Because that really started with the iPod Touch, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've owned all these things, right? iPods, I've owned iPads, I've owned MacBooks, I've owned a lot of their different products. And again, over the past, even in the last decade, they haven't really came out with anything earth-shattering. Look, they came out with AirPods, their headphones, right? There's nothing crazy about that. They came out with the watch. The watch isn't like that crazily groundbreaking.
Was that
I
before
think
everybody else?
a smartwatch? Boy, I honestly couldn't tell you. I know Fitbit was before them, but it wasn't to the extent of utilizing it. It wasn't to the extent of utilizing an app store, though.
Okay.
So the thing about wearables, though, maybe it's just me. The wearables, I don't know if it's where it could be. I don't think it's. I personally don't think it's there yet. I think it could be better. Maybe the watch has come a long way, but I don't know. I think wearables still have some time to become really like hardcore. But I guess what I'm trying to get at is with this introduction of the Apple Vision, again, now they're trying to bring something different to the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is something completely different. Now, different in a sense, not in a sense that nobody's attempted it. We just talked about the last half hour of all these different attempts at doing some kind of like AR VR thing. So it's been done.
Yeah.
They're not the first. But like I said before, they might be the first to bring something forth that might be maybe a little bit more mainstream, or actually more robust. Because the thing is, with this initial release, it's not about trying to get it into everybody's hands. It's just about getting it into the people's hands so that they can craft what this thing could be. Because when they brought out the App Store, what do? You put it in the hands of developers. You start it with your own, but then you put it in the hands of the rest of the community to see what they can do with it. And that's exactly what this is. This is like the test bed,
Okay.
but it is also this introduction to maybe a potential new way of computing. And like you said, this is not purely for entertainment purposes. At least the way that they were trying to advertise it, there might be some productivity with this now. And then the question lies, why would I want to use this for productivity versus just my laptop? What am I getting out of this, right? Is it really just a gimmick of going to work and acting like I'm fucking Tom Cruise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know yet. I don't know. It's just, once you've been using something for a certain way for a long time, you get set in those ways, right? And until you try to change that, until you try to move into something else or get out of your comfort zone and try something different, maybe you won't know the actual benefits of utilizing something that way versus the way that you did before.
Now, don't you think that the barrier for entry is freaking pretty for me, I think it's pretty high because they're slapping a $3,500 price point to be part of this beta test, if you know,
Yeah,
or prototype
yeah.
test.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you're a business, okay, if you're a business, number one, the only people that are going to care about something like this is bleeding edge people. And it's the bleeding edge people that are going to pony up the money. And the people that are bleeding edge or want to be bleeding edge, they are always going to pay the cost. They always take the hit. Everybody that is the first to get any product from the get-go is likely to pony up the money because it helps fund the start. I'll give it a good example. This is the best example I know. Okay.
Start
And
with
it's
a
going to
T.
be test. Yeah, it's going to be a T.
Yep,
It
yep,
is going to be a T.
yep.
You don't come out with the Model 3 first. You don't come out with the most economical version. You know why?
Yep.
You got to make money. You got to make money to fund the R&D. You got to be profitable. When you're starting out, you're not profitable. That's that company. Apple does not have a problem with being profitable. They're already a multi-trillion-dollar company. They
Yeah.
don't necessarily need the money. It doesn't mean they're not going to go get more money. They're absolutely going to go get more money. But the same approach is still present here, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is that you are, you're there's a very niche community of bleeding edge individuals that are probably going to be contributing to the development of this product, right? So you're going to get it into the hands of those people. Those people are going to be very about it, and then only time will tell what else we can get out of it, right? It looks great. It looks great in the demos. Does it actually perform that way in real life? I don't know. I'm very curious myself, to be
Mm-hmm.
quite honest. And I am a bleeding edge kind of guy on certain aspects of technology. Is this one of the things that I pony up 3.5 for? Depends on if I get my bonus next year. I
Now,
might pony up for it.
so with that reasoning and that business mindset, you think that's why they are releasing the Pro version first? Because I mean, they have an iPad Pro, right?
Yes.
And then a MacBook Pro,
Yes.
right? Uh, is there an iPhone like Pro model, or is
Yes.
that a moniker they use for the iPhone?
Yes. This is a Pro. This is a Pro
Okay,
Max, right? Okay. Yeah.
so they use that for their top end model,
Yep.
basically.
Yeah.
So with them releasing, is it's a marketing strategy then to call it an Apple Vision Pro, and here it is. It's a after tax it's going to be $4,000 plus, and then you're going to pay for your Apple Care, which is probably going to be higher.
Right.
Whatever services that come with it, but hey, guess what? You're going to have free Phillips on your new Tesla. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be some kind of
I know exactly
service
what you're
tied to
saying.
it, right? So do you think that? Well, I guess that is the justification, right? We'll come out with the Pro model first, and then we'll take off the Pro, and then you lose the thing that they're doing with their pinching, right? You see them doing this thing and
Yeah. Yeah.
doing the
There's
freaking
there's no
the
actual physical
the
controls to
Doctor
control
Strange
that thing.
shit that's
Yeah.
they're doing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
so let's
I
get into
mean,
the tech.
well, here's another thing. Yeah. If you now this is the other part of it, right? Is the tech. There's like fucking, I don't know, I think there's like 12 or 18 fucking cameras on this thing, right? So
Jesus Christ, I only saw
so
6.
so the actual fucking components, right? Your hardware, the chipsets. And
Yeah,
we're talking about the chipset, we're talking about the cameras, we're talking about the materials, we're talking about the R&D that goes into it, right?
yeah.
So that obviously comes with a price. So there is a base cost for them, material wise, that they're going to have to recoup,
Mm-hmm.
which is nowhere near 3.5. I know that much. I know damn well that much, right? But I mean, here's the thing. If you're going to put a product out there that is nothing like it, you charge whatever the fuck you want. There's nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
for what that thing says it's doing is all I'm saying. Are there other VR headsets? Absolutely, there are. But do those VR headsets claim or can do what this thing is doing
Of course
based
not.
on what they're saying it
Well,
could
this
do?
thing is a computer on your head.
It's different. So it's going to have its own price, whatever price they want it to be.
Yeah.
This is
'Cause
the price that they're choosing.
the M2 is the latest chip that they're using in the Max, right? And the
Yeah,
iPad.
it uses the M2, and it also uses another chip called the R1, I believe, which is the one that's handling all that virtual shit.
Okay, so all the reality AR VR stuff is the R1 chip.
Yep,
And then so your M2 is essentially your CPU, and then
that's the
maybe the
CPU.
R1 is the GPU
Yeah,
all on it.
yeah,
So
that's right.
that
That's
makes
right.
me wonder if it gets hot, right?
Well,
You know what I mean? Because I mean
I don't know.
it's a computer. Does the iPad get hot? I know my phone gets hot.
The iPad gets hot if you watch movies for a really long period of time, or you watch
Really?
very graphic. Yeah, if you play very graphic, intense games, it can get hot.
Okay, so it does get hot. So
Yeah,
I'm wondering how hot this thing becomes pushing, it's claiming 4K in each eye or more than
sure.
that, right? So I wonder how
Yeah,
hot this thing is going to get from just processing.
sure.
That
Well,
yeah, you
thing,
mentioned the tech.
the thing is, if you don't have it plugged in the wall, this thing only lasts 2 hours.
2 hours. Yeah,
So
up to 2 hours.
up to 2 hours. I mean, this thing. I
Yeah.
mean, the battery on it is like a thing that you can fit in your hand. You put in your back pocket or something, right? If you want to
Okay.
walk around with it or whatever. Obviously there'll probably be bigger batteries, or again, you could just tether yourself to a wall if you need to. But then now, you know, the weight thing too, right? You're not gonna put the battery in the headset, or else it's gonna be too heavy. That's why they put it off on its own thing.
Like a belt thing.
Yeah. But the fact that this thing has so many sensors and it's constantly checking and looking and figuring things out, I mean, it's just contributing to the computer
Yeah.
doing something.
Was
You
that
know what I
something on the
mean?
website? I don't remember seeing that on their website about the cooling aspect of the headset.
I honestly can't remember, to be quite honest.
And the last thing you want is something getting hot on your face, you know?
I know they have a pretty big. I know they have like some kind of breakaway sort of shot where you can kind of see some of the internals. Uh, that little strap is supposed to be really breathable or whatever, or very amiable, so you can it's supposed to stretch around your head. The mics are like over here or whatever, the little rocker panel for volume adjustment. But apparently, there's cameras shooting in, there's cameras looking out.
Yep, eye tracking and then obviously outside tracking.
Yeah, all that stuff. Shit. Supposedly that eye tracking is just like crazy, right? It's like as you're looking around at the apps that are like projected in front of you, you're like, oh, okay, I want to look at the Safari browser and just like,
You're supposed to be able to
and then that's
activate
it.
whatever just by
Yeah,
looking at it, I think,
even just by
right?
looking at it.
Um,
Yeah,
so the VR2, the PSVR2 uses eye tracking, and the only function that I know of right now is, and maybe the Vision Pro will push this along in the PSVR2 tech, or developing for it, is that when you're looking in a certain, you've got your freaking 8K screen in your eyeballs now, but when you're looking at just this window, right? If you're doing your programs, and you're only focused on this part of the screen, it's going to only render that portion at that
that makes sense.
resolution so that it can save on processing power on the other stuff, because
That's right.
it doesn't need to show this in 8K if you're not looking this way, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's
So,
no point in sharpening the whole thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
God damn, that's smart.
so the I know the PSVR 2 does that, and I imagine Apple's going to do the same thing. I know that
Vision does it. Vision does it.
it does do
It
it.
it's part of one of their tagline things or whatever. It was
Okay.
part of the demo. Because people are like, well, can I even read? Like you're talking about, like I could read a book. It's going to be nice and clear, and that is one of the talking points was the fact that it only renders what's in your field of view. It's not going to worry about anything
Okay.
else.
Which helps with because that's how we look. Your peripheral is not as clean as what's right in front of you
Right.
because you're focusing, right? So that might
Right.
help with the motion
For sure.
sickness and motion sensing, right?
For sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sony helped Apple with this technology after the
It's
PSVR
possible.
2 because I mean I know there's Sony tech in the cameras at a minimum
Of course.
for
Yeah.
Apple's phones. So
it's just a matter of who wants to pony up the money to take on this venture, right?
right. So yeah,
Like I said,
man, I really wonder how the eye tracking works for I want to open this app. Like how's it gonna know that? Like
mm-hmm.
you just stare at it long enough. Like if you're focused on that app for like 2 seconds, it's gonna
I have a feeling you still have to
you
do
still gotta
this.
do this.
I think you still got to do this.
Okay.
You look at it, it basically shows it's been highlighted. Do this, and then you go in. I could see you fucking up a lot though, right? Like, oops, tap, whoops, whoops. I meant to go this way. Go back.
Until
I'm
you
sure
get
there's a
used to
learning
it.
curve.
Yeah,
Yeah,
learning
I'm sure there's a
curve.
learning curve
Or somebody
to
that
it.
that's very got to move their hands all the time. It might confuse the
Yeah.
thing.
Don't worry, bro. First quarter, bro. When that thing drops,
Is it next year?
it's
Is that?
gonna be next year. I heard it's
That
first
is
quarter next year.
crazy. Well,
First
I'd
quarter
like the
next year.
sample. I'd like the
Yeah.
sample and see that.
Oh yeah, you're gonna see that shit right here on the channel, bro. I'm gonna get that shit as long as I get the bonus.
So for usability, right? And I mean, obviously, you want to go and draft some documents. You're gonna go and freaking hook up a goddamn keyboard still, unless, and I will tell you right now, even text messaging is a freaking problem for me when I'm using voice to text.
Oh, guaranteed.
Right.
Guaranteed.
So you're not drafting and you're not doing your spreadsheets or anything like that by voice, right? You're not putting freaking functions and formulas or whatever using your voice. You're gonna still type that crap up. So that part of the productivity aspect for me kind of bothers me because I'm gonna still want to have a keyboard to do that.
Sure.
Like so that kind of takes away from like why I have if I were to buy one, why I have it because now I'm going to be sitting down because I'm not going to be having a floating keyboard.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to sit my ass down, but then guess what? I have a monitor right here. Well, I'm going to use the one on my face when I'm going to go and just type on this keyboard anyways.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm wondering what the real world productivity applications would be.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. I honestly don't know. I can't really think about it off the top of my head. I mean, the demo that they showed was a guy that went to work. He had it on. And I guess probably the coolest part about that whole demo was the fact that he opened up his MacBook Pro on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever was on his Pro moved out and got projected in front of him. So he was working on something and that thing went out there now in front of him too.
Yeah.
So it just picks up from where he was, right? But then it was just that. It was the Minority Report thing. It's like, okay, I'm gonna put my email over here. I'm gonna go put some other thing over here. I'm gonna look at that, and then you see somebody walking by him, right, in the real world as he's just looking at all these things in front of him.
Yes.
But whether he's actually like gonna be really that productive up there versus on the thing, I mean,
versus having
I just don't know.
ultra wide, or a couple monitors.
That's probably the biggest benefit, right? Is not having to worry about the hardware. I mean, fuck, you already paid $3.5 for this thing. You might as well get your fucking 100 fucking inch monitor in front of you, right? doing your work and shit.
Well, it's gonna be the
Woo!
freaking MGS sphere around you. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna have this tab
Pretty
over here,
much.
this up here, above me, below,
Yeah.
whatever.
And then somebody FaceTimes me. They pop in right. Whoa, shit. Hey, what's up, bro? Shit. There you are.
That part I thought was cool, but the application again, you can take videos, right? You can take
Yeah.
videos in a 3D space and make it VR.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
cool. But then the person that's going to view it, other than yourself, still has to have the same technology.
Yes.
It's not like I'm going to open up my freaking phone and then now I have
Sure.
a VR freaking video for myself.
Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah. I mean, right now, I can't think of anything that great, but well, I'm sure somebody will figure it out.
I mean, I get it. I get the, like you mentioned earlier, the topography stuff where you can, just have a CAD thing open, right?
Yeah.
You got your CAD thing open, swivel it, freaking twist it around, do
Yeah.
these things, and then switch the view real quick. If these hand gestures work, that would be awesome.
Well, that's the
The
thing.
whole Iron
It
Man
goes back
stuff,
to
right?
it goes back to what I said is the people have to develop those programs
Mm-hmm.
to work with this product. Otherwise, so out the box, you're going to be able to use the Apple products, right? Obviously, any other digital consumable will be likely compatible to a certain extent in the fact that you can watch videos, you can listen to music, right? Those kinds of things, just because of the mere fact that the file types will be compatible. But we're talking about, hey, can I do Photoshop on there? Can I be doing all kinds of shit like this with that? They'd have to build support for that particular medium, unless there's just basic things that hand gestures get interpolated into just regular inputs for any program.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe it does those kinds of things. Maybe. I don't know. I guess it's just more about like, it's probably just going to be another toy, at least for the beginning stages, like I said, until an app store for vision gets established, you know, probably. But again, they're trying to sell it as it's just a completely different computing experience. Instead of sitting at a desk typing towards a screen, is this immersive experience that you're just in your world and in the space, in your environment, and consuming and or interacting uh wherever it is that you want to do that. You could be on a plane, you could be in your room, you could be at the park, whatever, and still be doing all these things, which you could do with a laptop, but it's more of an immersion part of it, I guess.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. So to go back on a few subjects, you're in the gaming industry, right?
Hmm.
Has that been entertained in the gaming industry to use VR technology or AR technology?
So I've seen 3D, I've seen 4D, believe it or not. There's 4D slots. They did a Wheel of Fortune 4D slot. And how that worked was you had almost like three-dimensional reels, but there was either some kind of like motion or some kind of air reaction, kind of like
Oh,
things that was happening while
okay.
you played. Um, Virtual, like in an AR sense. God, I really can't remember like an AR gaming slot gaming application. I cannot recall. I don't think I've seen that yet. I know they try to do like video game hybrid slot kind of things, right? Shooters and things like that, but I don't think anything that was really like in a virtual world or virtual experience. Now, during COVID or shortly after COVID time, they did try to do this thing where a physical slot machine was in a casino, okay? And they rigged it up to this system where somebody at home could press a play button, which then effectively launched the play on that physical machine.
What
So rather than playing a digital slot, you were literally playing a physical slot via a digital interface.
Okay. Some gyromite shit.
So they had a camera that looked at the physical slot,
Yeah.
and then your digital inputs, and then you looking at the camera, seeing the output of what it was that you did. It's almost like a Twitch experience kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Seeing the real world get affected by my inputs, right?
Yeah.
Um, I don't think it took off. So
No, it doesn't sound like it.
I don't think it went anywhere, to be quite honest. The thing about it's funny. It's funny in my industry because slot machines were always a tactile thing, right? It was an experience that somebody had to go to a
Yes.
casino, that they had to touch the
You have to
machine. They
touch
were
something.
pressing the buttons, they were pulling the levers. They saw these mechanical wheel spinning, producing their outcomes, right? And then the video slots came out. And here's the thing. People were very skeptical about those outcomes because they felt like it was rigged, because it's digital. You could do whatever you want in terms of showing cherry 7 cherry, because you were the one putting on the screen. It wasn't like there was a cherry 7 cherry on this wheel and I pulled it, and in my mind I knew the cherry was there on the wheel. It's there, and I know it's coming around. I know it's coming back around,
Yeah.
and there it stopped, right? How do you see that in a computer? You can't. You can't see that. So people thought for the longest time playing video slots are rigged. Rigged, rigged, rigged. I'm not going to touch those. I'm going to play my old school, mechanical, buttons, handles. I trust those. Which is kind of why they were sort of entertaining this idea that, oh, now in this sort of semi post COVID world, you still want to get your physical fix, but you can't come down to the casino, press this button. You can see yourself manipulating this physical element, right? This
Yeah.
item. It's just
Yeah. I
crazy.
think the tactile portion is going to be the hurdle that the AR and VR space needs to get over,
This is a
because
similar thing. It's a similar story, right?
yeah.
Going from the physical slot world to this digital slot world now that we live in.
Yep.
Almost a similar bridge that needs to be crossed, because everybody, at least from a productivity standpoint, is using tactile items as interface, right?
Pens, right?
Um,
Doing art,
yeah,
doing using a mouse, right? It's you have it is one of the five senses.
yeah.
Right? I'm getting old.
But again, it just might be the technology needs to catch up with us. Like you said, I think you've made attempts at talking your text, or trying to
Yeah.
use the technology that we currently have, that's supposedly supposed to work a certain way, and it's just not panning out. Maybe we will get to that point to where it actually does, and then it will apply easier to this crazy immersive computing world that we're talking about. Maybe it does. Maybe.
I
Who
think the
knows?
only so for that part, that aspect of it, I think the only way we get to texting or typing, messages or documents down faster will not be from doing voice. It will be the neural thing, because we think faster
Mm,
than we can speak,
hmm.
and we can definitely type faster our thoughts than we can speak,
Sure.
because and our hands move faster than our eyes do. So
Hmm.
it's just there's certain things that cannot be accomplished because it's not fast enough to
Hmm.
use this, operation of the mouth might not be the thing to use when it comes to
Right.
technology, because it's slow compared to the other things that we have to utilize, right?
Right.
So I
Well,
mean,
we
most
kind of
people like listen to words. If the words are too slow,
uh-huh.
they can't process the information. They need to hear the voice, the words come in faster, and then
I ain't
that's
talking fast. You
it's
just listening slow.
you know only time will tell, man. Only time will tell.
I am, man. A lot has happened in the last 10 years. Who's to say that the next 10 won't be that much faster in advancements, especially with the artificial intelligence now is sort of set loose.
Ooh,
So we'll see how that goes.
yeah.
Because you were just talking about typing stuff, right? Hell, I don't even fucking type shit anymore. I asked that Chat GPT to write my fucking shit now, man.
Uh, oh man, will that be the next topic? Who
Maybe
knows? But yep. Anyway, that is it for us, folks. Until next time, I'm CyberBrawn. That's Cyberpunk. Hope you enjoyed this little talk. Peace.
later.